Hello everybody, Doug Barry here. Welcome to my world in the great state of Nevada. Hopefully you can see me right here. I'm kind of all bundled up. Went on a bike ride and a hike today. That mountain right there is Mount Grant. I believe it's 11,300 feet. And there's a gravel road that goes up here, but there's been nobody here. I went the hard way. You can see my tracks right here. And I rode my bicycle from that town out in the distance and across the desert, a lot of snow drifts, and then I walked the rest of the way. And up here, it's pretty steep, and where those stakes are, there's a big H, and that big H, it's lit up. It's got some little lights on there. Whoa, it's got some little lights on there, and that stands for Hawthorne, and that's the big H right there. And it reminds me of the M in Missoula, Montana. I think the M in Missoula, Montana was the first city anywhere in the West to put a letter for their town. But that's the H for Hawthorne. And then looking out here, okay, that in the distance is Walker Lake. And that's looking north. And the Native American community of Schurz is on the other side of that north side. And then there's Walker Lake. But that used to be part of ancient Lake Lahontan, and it stretched all the way across this valley over here to Hawthorne. And it wasn't that long ago that in Hawthorne, the water came to the edge of the town there, and people were catching like 3-foot long Lahontan cutthroat trout, which is a special kind of trout that can handle high alkalinity. There's still some around in a few lakes. I think in maybe Pyramid Lake and one of the lakes up in the Sierra of California. But they've used all the water over the years for farming up in Yarrington, Smith Valley, and so forth. All those bunkers out in that field right there, that's part of the storage. It's a big armory storage for munitions. Yes, war munitions like naval munitions and big bombs and artillery shells and so forth. And right there, straight ahead, that's the base right there. That's their golf course where all the trees are. And then you see that space between that town, you go to the right, and there's the bigger town. That's Hawthorne. And that space in between there is basically a ghost town now. That used to be Babbitt. And that was all the government housing back in the days, 50s, 60s, I think 70s. And all the houses are gone. They sold all the buildings. A lot of those buildings are scattered throughout the state of Nevada. And the streets are still there, and there's still fire hydrants. And the sidewalks are there, and there's trees sprouting up in the cracks. It's pretty surreal, but I go walking there a lot in the wintertime. It's a good place to walk. But I came across, okay, see the town, see that road in the middle of the road, that highway there? That's Highway 95, US 95. That goes to Las Vegas, going that direction. And then the other direction goes to Reno. It goes up into Idaho, too. But right where that main street is, if you go to the right a little bit, between that main street and that tank, that's where I started out my desert bunker. I live in the wintertime to stay out of the snow up in the high altitudes. It was cold this morning. It was 10 degrees, which is pretty cold for that area in the valley. It's only 4,400 feet. I think around here I think I'm about 6,500. I'm not sure, I have to look it up. But it was cold. The wind was cold, and so much so, it was difficult getting up here. I'm gonna spend a little time where I'm talking in this video, and then I'm gonna be quiet, because I know a lot of times people just want to see the scenery. But I'll tell you how I got up here. And see these hills right here, and then right in there, there's a little trail right there. Well, I rode my bicycle across the desert, and it wasn't easy because there's a lot of snow drifts in there. So I had to actually go in the sagebrush, and there's still a lot of snow. I was in low gear. Got a mountain bike Specialized, I like it. And then see that hill right there? I learned not to go on that one. That one's really steep on the other side. And it's like maybe, I don't know, over 30 degrees or something. It's crazy. And so I went around that one and cut up over here. And it's just like a, up and down. It's pretty rugged. But anyway, I just want to say that you may think, oh, 10 degrees isn't that cold. True. But when the wind picks up, the problem is that you start breathing hard. And for me, I've noticed I can get my trachea frozen a little bit and get sick. So I try not to do that. So I was taking my time, doing a lot of resting because I got my pulse up and so forth. And yeah, for me anyway, it's been a long time since I've got my pulse up like that. It's good for me, you know, but it's nothing to laugh about. It can be pretty serious because you get your heart racing like that in high altitude and it's cold like that, you can actually have a heart attack or something like that. Something bad can happen. So it's best just to kind of take her easy. I'm in great shape for my age, but I know when to be wise about things. Then right up here, you see the strip of those buildings right there on the other side of the army base. And if you go across there, that's Ryan Canyon, where I filmed that other video where I rode my bicycle up there. Yeah, it doesn't look like much, but man, it'll overheat your vehicle just about when you get to top up and there's another valley. It's really steep. There's a monument too for some four-wheelers that had an accident up there and had unfortunately passed away. And there's some mining claims up there and so forth. Now see all these trucks on the highway? That's US 95. And you gotta be careful because apparently I have a suspicion there's a lot of drugs running on that from coming up from Mexico, the cartels, through Las Vegas, and it comes through here, goes up to Reno, hits I-80, it goes points east to like Chicago in the Midwest. So I admit it, I pray for our sheriff deputies because, you know, I'm pretty good with a gun, but you pull somebody over and they've got a lot of drugs on there, you got to be able to defend yourself, you know. So I would even donate some money for those guys to get more ammunition so they get their practice together, you know, because it can be dangerous. And anyway, actually I had a job opening for that, and if I was younger I would have loved to have that job. I got a clean record and everything. I'm real good with pistol. I try to keep calm. I try to calm people down and stuff. I would have loved that, but I think I'm a little bit too old for that, even though I'm in good shape. You know, it is what it is. But anyway, it's a dangerous highway there because of the drug traffic. There's Hawthorne right there. And I recommend stopping at the El Capitan Casino. They have RV parking for you guys truck drivers. They got a motel there, places to park all your desert toys and stuff. We have a lot of desert racing events throughout the year during the season. And there you can see some more bombs there. This is the highway that goes outside of town. That ties into Mono Lake. Anchorite Pass is up in there. You can take that, it's like 55, 60 miles or something to get into Highway US 395. I've taken that before and only run across maybe one or two other vehicles. It's nice. You take your time getting to 395 if you want to get to Mammoth or go over to Bridgeport. Anyway, I'm gonna shut my mouth now and just let you guys enjoy the scenery. So my bicycle's right down there. I'm gonna walk down here and then get my bicycle and go downhill. It's pretty fun. You got to get off a couple hills. It doesn't look as steep as they really are from here, but they're super steep. So, but most of the way I can get down there, and then when I finally get to the desert, I'll actually cut across the sagebrush and go back into Hawthorne. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I'm gonna go back up to top and eat my lunch. Enjoyed it.